Hi everyone! To start things off, I'll just simply introduce myself. My name is Crystal with a K. My friends call me K-chan, and people online know me as KShinju88. No matter which website you go on, that would be my username. Well, there's a few that are different, but for the most part, I'm KShinju88. So, nice to meet you! Oh my gosh. I've been watching anime since like 5th grade, so there's a really long list of titles that I could name off, but I won't, because that would take a while. But some of the major series that I still love, I love Sayuki, Full Metal Alchemist, let's see, Ronin Warriors, Gundam Wing, Get Backers, Descendants of Darkness. That's one that I'm really obsessing over right now, especially since the manga has been revived this year. I'm also getting into Hetalia and Black Butler. Well, that's all I can think of at the moment, and if I repeated anything in that list, then forgive me. There are so many things that kind of built up to how I got to where I am now, but I'd say before I attended my first convention, I remember just surfing the web. Then I stumbled on cosplay.com and a few other websites that have photos, and I saw these really impressive costumes, and I was thinking, wow, those people actually made those on their own? And from that point on, I decided that I wanted to try that myself. I'm not quite at the professional level, like the ones that I had seen, I think. But it's really fun, and yeah, just seeing other people dress up from series that I was familiar with kind of inspired me to do the same thing. Well, I am not a professional sewer, and I'm actually just beginning to learn how to. In fact, I made my own costume from scratch last year. Didn't exactly turn out well, but I'm just a beginner, so, well, yeah, I'll have to start somewhere. But usually I'll pick something within my difficulty level. In this case, I'm still sort of a beginner, but I'm pretty familiar with what to do. Usually I'll just buy stuff and modify it to make it look more like the character that I'm dressing up as. The cosplays that I usually pick are pretty simple, but if there's a character that I want to be that's really detailed outfit-wise, then I'll commission somebody to make it for me. I mostly make my own outfits to an extent, and then I also make my own props. So that's usually the approach that I take when I'm cosplaying, or putting together cosplay. Characters that I've cosplayed, well, on my cosplay.com account there are about 16 different cosplays that I've put together. Some of them are of the same character, but I've actually dressed up in more than 16 different outfits. I just need to update my profile. Let's see. My first cosplay ever was Duo from Gundam Wing. I actually had to borrow some of the outfit from a brother of a friend of mine, and I dressed up as him at my very first convention back in 2006. It was one of the most interesting experiences I had. I actually got a few hugs just from dressing up as Duo, and that was pretty fun. I also cosplayed people from Vocaloid, Ronin Warriors, even Sailor Moon at some point, I think, last year. And then I'm also working on some Hetalia outfits, and I've cosplayed a bunch of people from Descendants of Darkness. The most prominent character that shows up in my photos and in my cosplay.com profile is Suzuki. He is my absolute favorite character to dress up as because he's pretty easy to pull off and he's comfortable, and also I have a fairly big Descendants of Darkness cosplay group. We meet up every once in a while and just goof off and have fun. And in case anyone's wondering, yes, there is a Meraki in my group. So I fear for my life. There's actually two that I consider really awesome experiences. There was this one time in 2007 for SakuraCon where I had met up with some friends from the other side of the country and we put together a Ronin Warriors group with actual armor. I had been planning to put together the wildfire armor since my senior year in high school, and I had been working so hard on putting the armor together, and the response to my final product was so phenomenal. I must have been stopped like 100 times along with my group just to get a picture taken of us. It was really awesome though that some of the people that saw us actually knew who we were dressing up as. They didn't stop us just because our outfits were flashy or anything. We just brought back a sense of nostalgia to those people who used to watch the show on Toonami back in the day. The other experience was back in 2008 of SakuraCon on Sunday. My friend and I were dressing up as Suzuki and Hisoka, and usually those are characters that people don't commonly recognize because their outfits are pretty plain compared to any other cosplays that you would see at a convention. So we were just wandering around in the courtyard trying to figure out what the heck we were going to do because Sunday's pretty laid back and people start leaving. But then a couple of fans of the series that we were dressing up from saw us in the crowd and just rushed to us right away, and immediately we made a couple of new friends from that experience, and for me that was really memorable. Making friends at a convention is one of the nicest things ever, especially if they're familiar with series that you're into, especially the really rare, obscure ones that you don't often see at a convention.
Yurari, yurari, yurete iru otome